Kevin's Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review. Today I've got a beer I've seen on other people's reviews many times. I've just never seen it in the shop. And when I spotted it, I said, wow, I gotta grab this one. Here it is. It is the Péché Mortel from Brasserie Dieu Du Ciel, if I'm saying all that right. That's out of Montreal, Canada. I don't get many Canadian beers. And Péché Mortel is French for mortal sin. Now, I don't know why this is a mortal sin. Maybe it's just that good. This is an Imperial Stout, and you might actually call it an Imperial Coffee Stout. It's 9.5% ABV, and it's infused with fair trade coffee. So I do like coffee. This should be interesting. I've heard good things about the beer. Let's get it cracked open. All right, we've poured her all into a glass. Very dark. I wouldn't say it's black. I think it's like an extremely dark brown, and that's a fairly dark brown head. It's maybe a half a finger head is all that there is on there. Let's get the nose. There is no mistaking the coffee. I mean, in fact, they say you can get a buzz from this. There is just a huge amount of coffee on this. Coffee grounds, but pretty rich. It's a dark, rich coffee is how it smells to me. A fudgy chocolate scent, maybe some dark chocolate, vanilla. I get a little bit of the alcohol on it. It's definitely sweet. Maybe I'll get some other stuff as it kind of calms down, but right at the moment, just coffee is just wafting off of it. So I'm going to just jump on in. Cheers. Wow. Okay. It starts off with some coffee, but and a little bit of chocolate, and then the coffee is big, strong, some caramel character as well. But then I got the alcohol hit. So you know that it's 9.5%. It's not hiding that at all as far as I'm concerned. No masking of the alcohol. It's kind of a low to moderate carbonation. It's only a medium body, but you know, you probably thin it out with that coffee. But man, it's strong. It's just really potent. I don't know how else to say it. I bet I could get a buzz off of this. I drink decaf coffee these days, sometimes a little bit of caffeinated mixed in. But I mean, it's all about the coffee. You get those other qualities, like I say, the caramel. You get some chocolate, someplace like a cocoa to like a fudgy chocolate, and it's like on the darker side, but it's light. It's not a heavy chocolate. I get a light, sweet vanilla, but it's very light. There's definitely some good roast on this. Part of that roast, because the coffee comes off as a coffee roast, you might say, but you're getting the roasted malts for sure. I'm getting a little bit of like some char type flavors on it, and maybe a bit of like a burnt brown sugar type quality on it. So I'm going to take a little time with it, see if this develops or changes as it warms. I took it straight out of the fridge. I love doing it that way, and I'll be back. Well, I've taken quite a bit of time with this, and I've got to tell you, this is one solid beer. I mean, this is truly a solid beer. I will add to the description, however. On the back side, particularly earlier, but still now, because they have packed so much, I mean, so much coffee into this. I mean, they've packed a lot. You can't get away from picking up some of the bitter tannin type characteristics when you're putting beer in a coffee. You can do a lot of things to try to stop that from occurring, but when you put this much coffee into a beer, you're going to get some of that. Still, though, I have to say, they've done a fantastic job of tempering that down, whatever all techniques that they've used, infusing this coffee into the beer. As it has warmed, it is mellowed and smoothed out quite a bit, and I'm really digging on that. There's just a beautiful sweetness. It's not like a super sweet beer. It's not an unsweet. There's a good amount of sweetness, and you know I like my sweet. But it's really well balanced with the bitterness that comes off the coffee and whatever hops that they've put into it, and the roasted malts. If you like a good stout, and if you enjoy coffee stouts, this is going to probably be one of the better ones you've ever had. So I'm going to have to rate it 3 ways tonight. 3 ways. How would I rank this in terms of Imperial Stout? You know, for me, there's too much bitterness for an Imperial Stout. I mean, they're just really fabulous Imperial Stouts. So in terms of like an Imperial Stout, a lot of great qualities. It's just really well crafted. But that bitterness is too much. And yet, there's so much else there. I would give it a 91 for Imperial Stouts. Now, in terms of an Imperial Coffee Stout, it's just a fabulous Imperial Coffee Stout. Now I've got to put it in the world-class range for me. I think in terms of Imperial Coffee Stouts, this is a 97. It's that good. Overall now, how I rank it with all beers, I'm going to go back to the bitterness is too high, but there's all these beautiful qualities, so it's going to go someplace in between for me. For me, I'm enjoying it, but it's a 93 overall, which is an excellent rating. It's still a really good rating, and I'm totally thrilled that I got to try it. If you like coffee stouts, particularly Imperial coffee stouts, I would say seek this one out. They've been making it for years. It's a beautiful beer. It's the Péché Mortel. It's from Brasserie Dieu Du Ciel. That's a tongue twister, isn't it? It's a great beer. I would say go grab one, go find it, seek it out. This is Kevin at Clemens Homebrew saying life's too short to drink cheap beer, and I'll see you on the next beer review.